How we doing? Right. How's it going, people? He's alright. How he's doing? West Coast Wisdom, Tracy Storia, Stephen Smith, Body Stickle and Water, TP in a Tree, Richard Burke, Angry Beaver. How he's all doing? Nicholas Tarno, how he's doing? How he's saying to you? I need here. Sorry, I'm just setting myself up for what I need here. So, been endeavouring to try and figure out all this rubbish about, gravity and Einstein and relativity and all this fucking gobbledygook. So, I'm going to have a wee look at that. I'm going to have a wee look at some of the liars as well. The reason why I want to get back over this is because there's a lot of gatekeepers going about the place. A lot of, disingenuous trouts. It's the same old thing again. It's that same nonsense of what does it matter? Where we are? What does it matter? The same with this, push pull. Well, what does it matter? What does it matter? Well, it's fucking hugely relevant. Hugely relevant. And if you don't understand that, then you've got something wrong with you. You're not interested in truth or progress or furthering your understanding. If you don't see the significance, the mechanics of motion and acceleration in regards to the claims that are being put to us about our shared world, then you're an absolute buffer. So, it is hugely important, it is hugely relevant, because there's serious misconceptions in people's minds by language. Okay? Language is confusing people. So, anywho, we'll get to that in a minute. Let me just make sure that I'm sorted out up here. Go to that. Go to this twat. And now you see a lot of these twats, dancing and wriggling, trying to escape what it is they've been professing for all this time. I've got that. Aye, so, we've seen, it's been shown so many times that, acceleration, motion requires some sort of pressure. It's a pressure variation that creates what we know as motion and acceleration. So something has to be pressing on something else. Now I'm going to show you a wee couple of clips here that various different people have sent me different clips. So we've got one here of this Michu Kaku. We've got another one here. I've not looked at the Bill Nye one yet. We'll look at that off the cuff. Brian Greene explains what general relativity is. And then we're going to have a look at people like Baldy Cats, Conspiracy Cats, and some of these liars. I'm sick of YouTube putting this guy's stuff up for me. The guy's an obsessed stalker, one trick pony, same shit all the time. He's not proving anything, he's not bringing anything measurable about his absurd religious beliefs. It's just the same cack over and over and over again. So I'll be holding him to the fucking fire, and I will be doing that in the future. He's going to be making appearances with a pish getting ripped right out of him. So we'll have a look at him. He thinks he's ripping the pish. The guy's an absolute clown. You can try and rip the pish all you want. You can't rip the pish out of truth. The truth is always going to win. All you're doing is making an absolute clown of yourself. Anyway. Aye, so I'll get to that in a minute. Once I get a wee drink of my tea and whatever else. So as always, it's just an honest investigation. there's so much rubbish going about. There's so many dividers and people that play games. People that are questioning the reality should never be ridiculed. There should be no ridicule attached to anybody who's endeavouring to further understand what the reality is. People that are professing they're scientists or skeptics or open-minded thinkers should be stepping up to the mark to have these open discussions. But in my experience of 4 years of being live and doing these videos, there is very, very little. I've yet to meet a professed scientist, a PhD, somebody with some sort of accolades to their name. There has been absolutely nothing. All I get is the same moronic crap over and over again from people like Baldy Cats and the rest of the globe disciples. These people are zealots, fanatical zealots. Okay? They're not interested in looking at their own bias and coming to a further understanding of what reality actually is and how it functions. They don't care about any of that. So, nothing's going to change. These people are going to continually be jesters for however long. Again, I keep having to tell them I'm not going to go anywhere. The truth will win. And that's it. So, hang on, I've got that many fucking opened here. I just need to see what's what. They don't step up to the mark. They can't go live. They can't work off the cuff. They're no spontaneous. They're no clever. They're no creative. They're just mindless drones. You know? I mean, I could sit here and edit all day long and make anybody look whatever way I wanted and sit and go, ho, 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 as if it was fucking funny. It's boring. One trick ponies bore me. Try harder, son. See if you can make me. You made me laugh once. See if you can do it again. So anybody out there, anybody that thinks they're a scientist or whatever, if you're willing to have a real conversation with me, a discussion, you want to meet in person, you want to have a hangout, whatever it is, let me know. Get in touch. As I said previously, I'm not entertaining, zealotry. These cult disciples, lunatics, who are just obsessively, spamming people with the same old garbage. So of no interest to me whatsoever. How you all doing? Station the Plane, Billy Zig, Tom Goth here, it's Tracy Storia. Beyond Belief, how's it going? Pat Mustard, Flat Accord Music, Titarian, Neil W, Lunatics, exactly. Nice one, Station the Plane, just give me a shout whenever you want. And there's a Stony T selling alien. Nice one, Beyond Belief. Hudson Chalk, Bob Fawcett, how you doing? Guess who? Your last video was great. Oh, thank you very much. Much more of that to come. Much more. Much more. Few ideas. It's interesting, Elisa Hawk put a comment, I seen it, about the young ones. And that's exactly what I was thinking. So I'm going to be incorporating some other aspects from that. I look forward to it. World without curve. New believer in Jesus Christ. How you doing? How's it going, Stuart Lundy? Nathan's going to be phoning around asking his friends. Nathan's going to require some help. Nathan's going to be asking the priests of his teachings for advice when it comes to some practical work. I wonder who that's going to be. Can you guess? There'll be more than one. Who's fighting tonight? Anthony Yard's fighting Kovalev. Gary Lamazuria. Aye. So it's one trick pony.
Dell.
What's that? Aye. I'll look forward to that tonight, you know. I'll probably go off and have a watch it.
Del.
What is it? You fucking mad stalker.
Del.
What? Stop fucking stalking me, you mad obsessed freak. Can you not see I've got things to be doing here?
Sorry, Del, I didn't realise you were busy.
Well, fucking ask in future. Stop just butting in and stalking me, you mad obsessed guy. What did you think of my on the level flooring video?
No. It was rubbish.
It wasn't very fucking nice, was it? Oh, fuck you then. You want me to accept you, and you're fucking insulting me like that? Fuck you.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? It is.
Well, make your fucking mind up. It's either rubbish or it was fantastic. It's a bit late now. You said it. You want my affection and my attention, and you insult me. It's fucking better than your boring crap. Over and over and over again. Oh, hang on a now. I'll get my wee team of editors to capture that wee bit, and I'll pause and go, you're a fud. You get any proof of a globe yet? Anything? Any proof?
No.
That's what I fucking thought.
Well, I have no idea what you had for breakfast this morning.
It's none of your fucking business. What do you want to know what I had for my breakfast for? I'm a wee bit concerned about you, son. You've got me in every single one of your videos. You go on and on and on about me all the time. Is this because you took a spanking? Everybody forgets this. Conspiracy cats appeared as, you know, I can't remember, GCSE or something. Years ago, a couple of years ago. Took an absolute spanking. And in the very next minute, the hangout got porn bombed. And it was lost forever. Ever since then, he said, alright, beanie's bonnet. We'll see it when I show his video. You can see that. I'm ripping the piss out of you now. Right, very good, son. Very good. You notice how people like that have to take everybody else's stuff because they're just not funny. No charisma, no creativity, no soul. Fuck all. Absolutely nothing. So we'll show them how to get creative. We'll show them how to take a piss properly. Look out for that. Oh. Aye. See if that fucking baldy wank can do it live. I bet he can, eh? Stop running about acting like a jester. All yous creepy weirdos. Step up. Are you a man or a wee woman? No, this was a couple of years ago. The guy appeared and thought he could have a go because everybody else was failing. And as I say, he took an absolute spanking, and since then he's been a man possessed. You know that way where it's like somebody takes a spanking and they can't deal with it and they get away bitter and it just eats them up and eats them up, and that's his only part of letting it out. He thinks he's achieving something. I don't think he's paying any attention to who I am. I think he thinks his videos is somehow going to affect me or something. I don't know. He's just a wee sheepdog. Guys like him are wee sheepdogs trying to keep all the other disciples in the pen. It's not work when it comes to somebody like me. Some baldy wanker on tinterwebs making shitey videos. I mean, guys like him forget where I come from. and the banter you endured through your life, being in the west of Scotland, his pissy wee videos are like petals, flower petals, tickling my ballsack. Interwebs indeed. Is what real? I don't know. Baldy, what do you think of your fucking stuff?
Silly shill show.
Well, that's what I think as well. Silly wee shell show. Do you know how gravity works?
I don't know. Stop asking me that.
Well, stop fucking saying that you fucking know how it works and it makes your potato rock all work. Right, it's you that keeps saying it. No me. I'm questioning it. So anywho, let's have a wee look at this nonsense. Right, we'll get to force. Let me just share this with you. So as I say, you know, people are going about different hangouts and trying to poo-poo the push-pull thing, you know, for obvious reasons, because you know there's a serious problem with their mathematical concept, right? So, it's been established, motion acceleration requires a pressure. Pressure variation is what makes things move. Releasing pressure, putting pressure on, that's what makes stuff move. 100%. Total fact. Can't break it. Right? Magnetism, or whatever. You know. Again, deduction for, you know, the physical aspects of your reality. Magnetism is going to be some sort of flow. It's going to work like that. You know, people don't have a full grasp on it, so nobody gets to jump in and grasp it and say this is what it is and this represents my nonsense that I'm trying to spout to people. You know, that's not how it works. Okay, so you know, in regards to things moving and acceleration happening, you need a pressure. Okay, so it's known and it's understood. I wasn't aware that a lot of other people, you know, understood this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you.
Explaining special relativity.
It was called special relativity for a reason, and that was because it really only dealt with moving at constant speeds.
Einstein realized that his theory failed for accelerations. But in our universe, everything accelerates.
Einstein knows that for his theory to work,
Everything accelerates, apparently.
it has to account for everything in the
So what's accelerating it?
universe. And the ambitious Einstein decides to advance an even more radical interpretation of the universe, a general theory of relativity. Doing this will require him to take on his scientific hero, Sir Isaac Newton.
Newton said that if an object falls, it's because there's a mysterious force called gravity pulling it down. But you know, Isaac Newton himself was not satisfied by that. Objects move because they're pushed, not pulled. So what is pushing this?
You see that again?
Pulled. So what is pushing this? Objects move because they're pushed. Objects move because they're pushed, not pulled. So what is... Objects move because they're pushed.
What's that?
Not pulled. Objects move because they're pushed.
Just again?
Objects move because they're pushed.
That's right.
Not pulled. So what is pushing this? Newton didn't know. So Newton simply threw his hands up and said, I don't know. So I'm going to invent something called gravitational pull. And Einstein's...
Inventing stuff, making shite up. So we'll come back to that and we'll go to this, you know. Let's just have a wee look. Where is the fucking thing? What is it? Force. In physics, a force is any interaction that, when unopposed, will change the motion of an object. A force can cause an object with mass to change its velocity, i.e. to accelerate. Force can also be described intuitively as a push or a pull. Now, the use of language here, pull just denotes that you bring something closer to something else. So when one object moves closer to another object, you would term that as pulling. The physicality, the mechanical interactions, the physics of creating movement is a pressure, push. So it's being used differently all the time, and we'll see here with this Brian Greene character. So let's just get back to this a wee minute. This one, no.
Said, no, this theory can't be right.
He's in his office at the patent office, looking out at the window, and he imagined a man working on a roof. And he begins to wonder what would happen if one of those men were to fall off the roof. He had a vision. The man will not actually be feeling his own weight.
He would be weightless. And then he imagined, if you're in an elevator and somebody cuts the cord, what happens to you? You fall. But the elevator falls at the same rate you do, so you are weightless inside the elevator. So then
Because you need something to resist you.
Einstein got it. There is no such thing as gravitational pull. The Earth has curved the space around me, and space is pushing me into this chair.
Get that? Space is pushing you into the chair. Well, where's it pushing to? What is this space? We'll get to that again in a minute. This, space-time jargon. So where is it pushing to? Where is it flowing to? To the centre? And then where? So is space-time warping and bending all the way through the Earth to the central point that nobody knows what it is? If they're insisting that it's some sort of flow or a bending of something, how are they achieving that in 3 dimensions? Because any time I ever see it, it's on a plane, on a flat plane. We'll see this when we get to it. So you with me so far? So here we have, these guys talking about this, and I was unaware of this stuff, that they acknowledge that a pressure or a push is required in order to achieve motion. So this is why dipshitius Einstein has come up with his fucking nonsensical drivel of the warping and bending of something. We'll just call it space-time, and then I'll represent it with my granny's lycra pants. So if it's a push, because an object appears in this fabric, where did the fabric come from? The Big Bang spewed it out. The Big Bang flick it like it was laying a fucking cover, a bedspread sheet or something. What happened if an object was under it? Has to be on top of it. So is there a token of open to space-time? Or is it just everywhere, all at the same time? Then an object appears in it and it warps it, and then all that wants to push in 3-dimensionally in every direction to a central point. It's all gobbledygook and it's difficult to understand, but I can kind of grasp what they're getting at. But it just doesn't work, it's nonsense. So the relevance and importance is that people like Baldy Cats and these other people who don't articulate exactly what they mean when they're using the language of pull, because you hear it repeatedly, constantly, and he's one of them. Oh, gravity pulls stuffs. Pulls it. How? Oh, I don't know. Well, stop fucking saying it then. Stop asserting stuff like you do know what it means. Start being upfront and open and displaying some intellectual honesty. But they can't display that intellectual honesty because they need their wee cartoon plastic model to be set in stone. It's too much invested in it.
Space itself can be curved. Why does the
Space itself can be curved. Space? What? Air? What are you talking about? Ether? What are they talking about? Is this no definitive, wordage ascribed to something specific? It's all just vague, wishy-washy, thrown all about the place and push and pulls and all this nonsense going on.
Earth go around the sun? Most people would say, well, the sun's gravity is yanking the Earth toward the sun in a circle. Wrong. The Earth is going around the sun because the sun has warped the space around the Earth, and space is pushing the Earth toward the sun.
They're showing you a representation here like this on a 2D linear, type, plane. And if you tilt that or cause a dimple, and you've got an object in there, you displace the equilibrium. The weight displacement is going to make it move. It's its weight that would make it move. But they're using words like, you're now using words here like space is pushing. So we're all being pushed now in circles, apparently, by an invisible non-entity known as space-time.
New theory of gravity, a new theory of the universe.
General theory of relativity is one of the greatest achievements of the human mind.
There, man, there.
It is beautiful.
There he is, the visionary fucking scientist. Strap microphones. So that's all you need. Strapped a microphone, Earth's a globe.
Profound. And all the best theories of the universe are just that.
Well, let's go and see what this knob cheese is saying to you.
How do you know, Bill? Oh man, rent that for conventions. Tell your science friends. You are here not only because you're a fascinating guy to talk to. Thank you for being at my last show at the old gig.
Oh, I loved it. Thank you.
But also, this is the 100th anniversary this month of.
So again, just come back to it. So what was initially there? Particles, wee space balls, and they warped the fabric of space-time a wee bit. And then space pushed them into that region, and then anything else that came into that pushed it in, and then there was a build-up of particulates and a resistance. How was that happening? What was resisting it in the first place? Was the warping and bending of space-time getting into a central point, into a black hole, and into another dimension, and particulates clogged it up? Because again, mass, anything with mass, has no weight to it unless there's something to resist it. So what is it they're fucking going on about here? I'm still trying to get a grasp on it.
Einstein presenting his general theory of relativity. All right. I know it's famous, okay? Why is it epoch-making? Why did it change everything?
So we did not understand how the force of gravity worked before Einstein gave us this general theory.
Didn't Newton teach us that gravity comes from apples?
So now he's saying the force of gravity. He's now asserting that gravity is a force. It's a thing. It's a thing that makes stuff move.
That's what you would think. That's what you would think. Yes. But actually what Newton gave us is a formula that tells us the
again, use of language rather than saying it's an effect. I don't know what the cause is.
Strength of gravity, but he never told us how gravity actually exerts its pull.
Did he not care?
There again, and look at the gesture, it's pull, it's pull. So we're back to this imaginative thing again, where you've got an object here, and it makes this one come towards it, somehow. Now the laws of motion, acceleration dictates that you would either have to have something that can cast out stuff, stick itself onto stuff, so that when it's moving, it takes it with it, or it can go around the back of it and push it for the back. Like in a winch situation, you attach something onto a hook and it goes round it. The winch is all push motions being applied. Takes up the tension. There's no pressure here that makes it go. Or you could glue it on here. Right? And it just becomes an extension of the rope. And then your pressure, your push mechanism draws it inwards. But you have to apply a pressure. That's what makes the motion happen in the first place. So that's the only two things we can have. Something attached on here, or something at the back pressing. So it becomes an extension, or it's being pressed. But in any situation, you need to apply pressure in order to make motion. So when he's saying pull, this is where people get confused. Because they think pull's some sort of force or a thing. It's not. It's just relative to you and what's going on. Oh, I pulled something towards me, I pushed something away from me. You know, I went over and over this so many times, but there's still idiots out there that can't grasp it. Make anything move, you need to apply pressure to it. Or relieve pressure.
He cared. In fact, in his own writing, he said that it was a critical question that needed to be addressed, but he said, I will leave it to the consideration of the reader. He couldn't figure it out. Yes.
So then Einstein read that and said, I got this one. I got this one.
That's right. That's right.
Stand back, Isaac.
That's exactly
Albie's here.
Yeah.
All right. So when does special relativity come out?
1905.
So 1905. That's his, what did you call, annus mirabilis.
Yeah, he had 5 fantastic papers, but special relativity is among the most famous, where he redefined our understanding of space and time.
Okay, what is that? The E equals mc squared?
E equals mc squared was
Redefined our understanding of space and time.
afterthought of the special theory of relativity.
Really?
Yes, yes.
He's like, oh yeah, by the way, E
Yes.
equals mc squared.
That's right.
Yeah.
In June of 1905, he published his special relativity. In September, he has a little extra idea, which is E equals mc squared.
Wow, man. Okay, so this is 10
Wow,
years.
man, he doesn't have a fucking clue what he's talking about. This is aspects of NLP. Perpetuating in the minds of the gullible that it's something wonderful and amazing. It's just a concept.
Years later.
Yes.
And has he got any hits in between those two?
He published an enormous number of papers, but his real focus, the passion of his life's work, was to figure out gravity.
And how did it come to him that how this works?
So we have weight, we've got the earth resisting us. Have we got a two-way flow going on between up there and down here? Is it some sort of resonance frequency that gives things direction, gives them weight? Is it twofold, down the way and up the way? Is it the earth that's coming towards us? There has to be something like that, right? Because pulling shite doesn't exist.
Well, you
I don't
know,
even know how to form the question.
no, he
How
was
did-
deeply puzzled. How does the sun keep the earth in orbit, right? What is gravity? And he's thinking about this, and one day in 1907, he's in the patent office in Bern, Switzerland. That's where he
That's
had
where
a
he
job.
worked,
That's
yeah.
right. And he had what he called the happiest thought of his life.
Wow.
And the thought,
Is that something that we can say on
we
CBS?
can definitely talk about it. I don't know about your happiest thought, but his we can talk about, right? So,
Hurry up, for fuck's sake.
so he imagines a man falling from the roof of a house.
Happy.
Yay! And he
Oh,
realized.
I'm fucking absolutely hilarious. Look at me. I'm buckled with laughter. Tears are fucking flowing and everything.
Realizes that man would not feel his own weight. He would feel weightless.
Oh, he's in
If he
free
would-
fall.
He's in free
Oh,
fall. He's on
yeah.
a scale, right? The scale's reading would drop to 0 because he's no longer pushing on the scale. He's falling with it.
I understand there's an
It's no longer pushing in the scale because he's falling with it. Because you don't have weight. Mass has no weight until there's something to resist it. So an object is either being pressed downwards, coming into contact with the earth, which is either solidly setting foundations somewhere, or it's exerting an upward force. The two of them are meeting. Or it's the Earth that's coming into contact with us. Or, as I say, there's a two-way flow, a frequency, a resonance or something.
Experiment to demonstrate that.
Yeah, little simple demonstration. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to question these things, people. All these dipshits that think they're on their intellectual high horse. This is the whole point. The majority of people that you speak to have no fucking clue about any of this stuff, what it's all about, and I've got a serious issue with that. So don't be ashamed to display what you don't know, and that you're actively questioning it. Because if you've got a rational mind, a mind that's got the ability to understand practicality and figure things out, put your attention to it, you will get there. So don't listen to these dipshit snobs that think they're fucking on a fucking high horse. The problem with the majority of them is that they're dictating to children, bullying fucking wankers. Right? And that's where they get their pomposity. Right? Because they're so full of confidence and hubris because they've had no fucking pushback from innocent fucking children who don't have the discernment or the strength to fucking stand up to them and question things properly. Same for us. I was one of the children. But now I'm questioning it. And I don't have all the answers. I only have questions with a willingness to understand what the fuck these people are rabbiting on about.
Okay. Do I have to do anything?
No, it's very simple, right? So all we have here is a bottle of water that has holes in it, right? So of course the water is spraying out of the holes because gravity is pulling on the water, right?
Here it is again.
But if Einstein is right...
Here it is again. So right now he's saying that gravity is pulling on the water. So it's like an infinite amount of wee rods that are going to, and to use their language, attaching onto the molecules, the wee circular bumping particles, and winding them in. So what I'm saying about language and these representations that they give that are just confusing.
If I drop this bottle, the water will no longer feel gravity, so the water should stop spraying out. So let's see it. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa. Wow. Come on now, okay. Now, did Einstein have any theories about who's going to clean that up right now? Okay, so he saw that, he thought of that, and then general relativity.
8 years in the mind of Albert Einstein.
So he thinks about it for 8 years.
8 more
What's
years.
next?
Yeah, so then he realizes that there's a link between gravity and motion.
Okay, let's
and using that link, he comes up with this idea for how gravity works. So this is meant to be the fabric of space.
That's meant to be the fabric of space. So this is what I'm saying. It's a linear, flat plane made of elasticated material. And you laugh at me for being sarcastic and fucking trying to get water to stick to a football. And these fucking cockends are sitting on their high horse with fucking lycra. Thinking they're fucking intellectual.
Okay.
Now
he says
it's black.
It's black, right? Exactly.
Okay.
So he says if there's no matter, no energy, then space is flat, right? Which would mean that if you roll something, say a planet is moving through space, it goes on a straight line. Okay. But now let's bring in the sun, right? This is the sun right here, and he says in the general theory of relativity that the sun, merely by virtue of being in space, warps the fabric of space, actually, and time. Okay, and that's vital.
Warps the fabric of space and time again. Fabric. But they don't know what it is. They're just making it up. That's why you're getting fucking depictions of lycra. And again, what they're showing here is it would be like some sort of flow. Okay, so like in that you would have, like water. Imagine, fluid like water. Being put in that situation and it spiraling in. And anything that's in there, whether you put a feather or anything in that region, it's going to be pushed inwards into that point. So is that what they're talking about? Again, are they talking about ether but no saying ether? Are they referencing some flow of something? But no two-dimensional, linear like that, being 3 dimensions all around you. But then there's a problem. Well, where's it all flowing into? Does it just flow until it gets to the outside of the object and then stops? But they're not claiming that. They're claiming it's right to the centre of their nonsensical concept sphere.
It makes like a well.
A well, in a sense, because now if we take the Earth, right, and we set it in motion, it now goes into orbit because the fabric of space is nudging it around. And that
it's nudging it around. So we went for pull, now we're back to, you know, real motion. Something must be pushing it. So how's it doing that?
That is, according to Einstein, is how gravity works, right? So if we get these guys moving, all of these planets, objects, oh, you think you just threw something off the edge of the universe?
This is grown men. Theoretical physicists and fucking dipshit chat show host. Fucking grown ass fucking men. With lycra stretched out a fucking barrel and marbles. This is a cutting edge of understanding our fucking existence.
Right? So this, according to Einstein, is how the force of gravity actually works. And we can put some, let's say, asteroids in there.
This is how the force of gravity actually works. Displacing the equilibrium on a fucking sheet of lycra and then whizzing marbles around it. That's how the universe works.
And let these guys go motion.
You just don't understand. You just don't understand. You don't understand my model. Fucking trying. It's cartoonery, buffoonery. Trying my best. It's not easy to get your mindset into an unstable, mentally ill position. With a willingness to accept abstract fantasy. But I'm trying.
Go crazy.
Do I have
there
to go
you
in the same direction, or?
Oh, it's up to you, man. Go nuts, right? There. Oh, you right off the edge of the universe again.
I think I've torn the fabric of space-time.
And then we have some of these guys over here.
Wow. Oh, and those...
And when it all gets all together, the fabric of space-time is going to compress it all in and it's going to push it through a black hole and into another dimension.
Planets are on fire?
There they are.
I got one more question for you. Everybody always says, this is a beautiful demonstration. Everyone always says to guys like you, can you dumb it down to the level of like a 5-year-old? I would like you to not dumb it down. I would like
the level of 5-year-olds. You're acting like fucking 5-year-olds. 5-year-olds would be more creative than lycra and marbles. It's how the universe works. Absolutely astounding. Come back to it. I need a break. What else have I got lined up here? So we've looked at that. Force defined as a push or a pull. There is no this or. There only is one that's singular. Pressure creates motion, accelerates stuffs. If you get something to resist it, you can change its direction or slow it down by friction. Again, just varying pressures. Let's see this nonsense. Let's have a wee look at this again. We've seen these before, so.
Again, man makes a projectile of himself. This time from the mouth of a cannon. A man fired in the air. All humankind in action. The universal laws of motion! Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Fucking Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the
Oh yes, that's right. We descended from monkeys. Descended. Descended. Never ascended. We descended.
Science rules.
Science rules. That's no science. That's fucking cartoonery. It's the science of cartoons. Artistry.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Hurry up, Phil, for fuck's sake, man. Your intros are a bit much.
Brought to you by Pushy People. When you need to get something moving, call Pushy People.
This is an air track. When the pump's running, air comes out of these little holes. And it can support the weight of a scooter, like this one. Now, when I place the scooter on the track and let go of it, it just sits there. It doesn't move unless I give it a push. Then it keeps moving unless I give it another push. Or it hits the end of the track. Or maybe another scooter, another scooter, another scooter. Now here's the thing. If we had enough track and enough air, the scooters would keep scooting forever. There'd be nothing to slow them down.
Well, hardly anything. So when something's at rest or sitting still, it stays sitting still
unless acted on by an outside force. And when something's moving,
That's another thing. It's the same with this thing about the water. Oh, water will conform to whatever forces are acting upon it. That's their get out clause for, you know, the nonsensical, idiotic notion that a standing body of water can curve and convex upon its surface. They just come out with statements, word salads. We'll hear baldy flaps saying it in a minute. Oh, water will conform to any forces acting upon it. You got a demonstration for me? We'll have a look at the demonstrations.
keeps moving unless acted on by an outside force. Outside force. Outside force.
And the force is always going to be a resistive pressure, change in pressure.
This is true of everything that you can touch and see.
Okay, we got everything packed away. Let's get them to get on the truck.
It's very informative so far.
Here, boxes, boxes, boxes. Here, boxes. Come on.
That's it. This wee scenario here's exactly what they try and portray gravity as. Come on, come to me. Come on, come here.
I think you gotta get tough with them.
Hey, boxes!
Hey!
Get on the truck!
Hey, why don't you try a little psychology?
Hey! I hear they're giving out free ice cream to the first 20 boxes that get on the truck!
Oh dear.
Hey, says here that nothing gets moved unless they get pushed or pulled.
And again, this is obviously aimed at children. Pushed or pulled.
Great! That means we'll have to do the work. Just like last time.
Please, come on. You're so heavy.
Hurry up, for fuck's
An
sake.
object at rest remains at rest unless acted upon by an
There
outside
you go, there's your world. A cartoon. There's where you live.
force. An object in motion.
Yes, and the outside force is applied pressure, elevating it upwards. Coming into contact with it, applying a pressure.
Tends to stay in motion unless acted upon by an outside force.
His dome was the resistive force. She would have had to apply more pressure to her splatting to take him in that direction. She doesn't apply enough pressure, he's not going to move.
Let's watch that again in slow motion.
Right, let's there you go, for all the skyfly brides and all the other fucking willfully ignorant cretins out there. You better start understanding reality and stop making a fucking idiotic cunt of yourself. Right? Constantly sending me memes about pool and all this jobby. These people are retarded. Seriously. So, inertia, a tendency to do nothing or to remain unchanged. In physics, a property of matter by which it continues in its existing state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line, unless that state is changed by an external force. Mass is both a property of physical body and a measure of its resistance to acceleration. When a net force is applied, an object's mass also determines the strength of its gravitational attraction to other bodies. Here we have these words again. Attraction. That just determines its resistance to a pressure being applied to it. How heavy something is going to dictate how much pressure you're going to need to apply in order to make it move. Weight, a body's relative mass or the quantity of matter contained by it, giving rise to a downward force, the heaviness of a person or thing. So again, you don't have weight unless you've got something to resist. So when these people keep saying gravity makes things accelerate towards the earth, the earth's pulling it, that's crap. If they're going to keep asserting these things, they're going to have to own up and admit that it has to be something that's pushing them. Something pushing from above down, or both in both directions, or the earth is coming up and meeting objects. We can't keep asserting that there's a non-entity at the centre pulling stuff. Sorry man, that's another one. All these people, they'll keep you interchanging these two words, push and pull, attract and repulse and all that stuff. And gravity does this and gravity does that. But all I see is total dishonesty for them. Guess who? What pushes a magnet towards iron? Well, see, this is the thing, you know, in these people's fantasy world, again, this is what they imagine. They see a magnet, right, and they see something going towards the magnet. So this is a question you have to pose to them. Okay, so what is it about this magnet then? Is this magnet somehow coming out to here and just stopping and somehow having an effect on it? Is it attaching invisible rods and drawing it inwards? Is it casting out invisible rods and pressing it in from behind? What's going on in your lunatic thinking? Does the magnet create a warping of space-time? And subsequently from that, there's a flow, just as they were stating in the general theory of relativity. Because in that relativity, hogwash, that's what they know they have to look for. Something that would be creating a pressure, a push. So I'll ask you again, magnetism. What do you imagine's happening? Because it's no what your imagination wants to be true. You can't have stuff just coming to here and somehow having an effect. There has to be some form of interaction, a flow of some kind, a pressure being applied. I just need to imagine harder, that's it. Well, this is it, boom me. You know, when they're talking about space-time and all this, are they talking about a field? Are they talking about an ether? And there's a distortion happening within that, and there's subsequently from that, there's a flow that happens. But the problem for me is where does the flow go to? Where's it flowing to? And if you go and look at the depictions of the warping and bending of space-time in 3 dimensions, it's a fucking shambles. All they have is computer-generated nonsense. Guesswork. It's all fantasy. They have to go to fantasy land because they're trying to perpetuate a nonsensical globular Earth. This is why I said before about straight line motion. Makes a lot more sense than spinning and going round the fucking sun and going at 500,000 miles an hour. That's all sorts of fucking motions that they just need to keep adding more and more bump to it to try and make it work somehow. It's ridiculous. But that's the point. Again, I'm going to highlight this. When I made that video saying why this makes more sense, because it was more simplistic, it's met with ridicule. And you hear the propaganda and the ridicule surrounding straight line motion of the earth or whatever. Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, the earth's moving straight. Ah, fucking lunatic. Well, hold on a minute. You're telling me the earth's fucking spinning like this? Doing 65,000 fucking miles an hour around the sun, while the sun's doing 500 fucking thousand miles an hour? All over the place. But that's acceptable. That's fine. That's sane. That's rational. Although you can't demonstrate it in any way, shape or form. But that's somehow acceptable to these gullible fucktards. So again, don't pay attention to propaganda. Don't be swayed by propaganda and ridicule. Investigate this for yourself properly. See where it takes you. So I'm saying, I'm just tired of the fucking bullshit with people. I really want to, you know, dig into this stuff, and I'm only interested in people who are honestly stepping up to the mark to try and have a discussion about it. I'm not interested in fucking fanatics that all they care about is maintaining their wee religious bias. Because they people are protecting an investment. There's investment being made into this jobby of fucking space-time and relativity and all this crap. And they're there to protect it. So in the case of the Earth, okay, you're going to say it's a level plane. Okay, so we don't know it's not defined at the edges or whatever it is. What does it rest upon? And if it's resting upon something, then it must be fixed. So therefore, it's in a bigger environment, and we're back to the Russian doll scenario again. So therefore, what gives things direction? What's causing you to come downwards in that direction? You need to ask these questions. How can I have a conversation when anybody gets angry about mine? Because I'm sick of the same shit. Harry's a cunt. I'm sick of the same drivel. Because you people just go magnetism. What a mantra. As if that's a trump card for your nonsensical imaginations of pulling. That's why. Because I've got a short fuse for idiocy. So if you're not an idiot, you don't ask idiotic, fucktard questions over and over again. I'm not going to get annoyed at you. You are a cunt. So you get contempt. Fucko. It's just a trump card. Magnetism. You don't know how it works, so therefore My globe Earth's true. Very intellectually honest. Very rational, very sane approach to furthering your understanding of your reality and the mechanics of it. Just say buzzwords and mantras. Like a fucking mad, cuckoo, religious fundamentalist. Mere God of the Gaps type nonsense. Oh, just say words. That explains it all. Don't need to go any further. There's no such thing as pull aid Larson. Pull is not a force. You don't make anything move by a force known as pull. Motion requires pressure. You know, these people really are thick. I'm sorry, but you're thick. So if there's any sane people out there that are willing to contribute to this kind of discussion and help me to understand the fairy tale of heliocentrism, send me an email to the above email address and I'll check it in a minute. If you're a known troll and you come in here with any antagonistic type mannerisms, I'm just going to eject it immediately. Listen, everyone, well, how do you get density? How do you get density layers? How are you getting weight? These people think they know, but they don't. They've got a serious misunderstanding of what they think's factual. So again, getting back to it, that's why it's relevant. When you hear these people saying, what does it matter? What does it matter? Well, it matters hugely. Because it's portrayed to people that there's two things going on. When we're talking about motion and acceleration. And there isn't two things going on. Motion's being achieved, acceleration's being achieved. It's because there's a variation in pressure happening somewhere. Right, I'll come back to the chat box in a minute. I need to check and see here. This is awful slow. Benjamin. Well, Benjamin, if you don't think it's the right time, as I say, I want to keep it relevant to what I've been talking about, but I'll send you I'll create a hangout and I'll send you a link. And if it's in regards to what I've been talking about here, that's all fine. I'm aware IFPV angels and the people that they're endeavouring to figure things out sent me links to a guy, I can't remember his name, who's been messing about with electromagnetism and stuff like that. So it's an avenue that I'm still at the beginnings of trying to fathom. So I don't really have much to offer in that regard right now. All I have is questions and the ability to question the bullshit that's been put to me. So I can question the bullshit that they're offering me in regards to the globe nonsense and how it all works. I don't have any, definite answers myself. I don't need that. What am I doing? I keep forgetting I don't need to do that anymore. So there you go, Benjamin. I've sent that. So again, anybody else that wants to add or get something to offer in regards to this, by all means, send me an email. Where are all these experts? Let them. All these trolls are representatives of the globe cult. That's what they are. They represent a religious doctrine known as heliocentrism. And this is all they have to offer. Comforts. That's it. This is a level. This is what cult mentality does to you. Makes you stupid. So let them represent their cult all they like. And look at how disgusting they are. That's beyond belief. That's what I want. I want people to see how fucking vulgar and disgusting they are. I don't have anything. So I'm interested to know people's response to what I'm talking about here. That's it, no story now. Exactly it, my man. No worries, Benjamin. Now this is it. This is this. They want to make everybody passive. I'm one of these guys that will draw a line in the sand. Don't let them get away with this, turning you into a passive, apathetic fucking bystander. Grow a set. Draw a line in the sand. Stand up to bullshit. Don't accept it. Say fuck you. Whatever else. This is the thing. Again, it's like they try to suppress the spectrum that's within everybody. There's a spectrum from one end to the other, goes full circle on personality traits and capabilities that each individual has. But they want to create a mould, a standard that everybody must adhere to, and that's good and wholesome and right and this, that and the other. This idealistic, nonsensical, depiction of how you should be and how you should operate. Fuck them. Just another aspect of the cult lunacy. So that's that West Coast wisdom. Mental stability is questioned if you question and stand up against the BS. Well, that's that. That's the attributes of a, you know, a controller, a manipulative controller. I'm not entertaining any of it, Pat Mustard. I'm talking about what I want to talk about. I've got questions about my reality and its function. So I don't know what you're talking about. Stop coming here. I'm sick of these people. This is another... these people need to take a look at themselves. This, you know, what's the word? Entitlement. This superiority complex. Like you come to another individual and start trying to dictate what they should and shouldn't be saying or looking at or whatever. Fuck you. Fuck all the way off. Go away. Controller. Needy fucktard. Away and create your own content. Put your focus to whatever you want it to be on. Don't come here trying to pull my strings. You fucking imbecile. It's people like you and that type of attitude that's destructive. And I have a real contempt for it. Because I am not going to be controlled by any cunt. Not anybody in person. Certainly no faceless dipshits on tinterwebs. Are you retarded? All these passing judgment comments. Oh, you should do this, and I don't think you should do that, and well, your hair's not right, and you swear too much. Oh, fuck off then! Ta-ta! Oh, perfect ones. Because you must be perfect. If you're running about your life, you know, offering your opinions and how you think other people should be, you've obviously got a serious fucking complex yourself. You've really, you know, inflated yourself to godlike status. There's perfect being. Because you must be perfect if you're casting judgment on others. You fucking idiot. Perfect or chosen by God. It's God chose me. God chose me to come to your hangout on a Saturday night and try and dictate what you've to do and what you've not to do. Yeah, because God's a narcissistic, psychopathic, needy controller. Yeah, that's in my imagination because I'm projecting myself into the metaphysical and hoping God is an expression of my dipshittery. Is that what you think? You think the architect, the prime mover, is a needy, insecure, narcissistic fucktard like you? Oh, for fuck's sake, no wonder we're in this fucking mess. Wind your fucking neck in. God touched me in my special place. He told me, go and tell Del Boy to stop smoking, stop swearing, put his attention to this, that and the other, right? Because I've just not got the powers or the abilities to touch him in his special place. Because I'm scared of him. Because he might get angry. Well, I think he's been touching him with a firm hand, or a firmer finger. Well, calm down, for fuck's sake. If they calm down now, for fuck's sake, man, that's what I'm saying. You're like a puppet on a string, I don't know what to do. Please tell me what to do, what to say next, how to behave, what mannerisms have to express. I'm waiting. You're allowed to be wrong, don't drag us down with you, because I'm speaking to God right now. Is God angry with me? He's got to strike me down in a fit of vengeance. Because a faceless tinterweb guy got shot down in flames by Arschinius' face. This is a real insight into the fucking psyche of these crackpots that are turning this whole place into a fucking disaster. Total lunatics. Yeah, sure do what? What is it, Pat Mustard? What's the matter with you? Huh? You get something else you want? Instead of taking responsibility for your neck being out too far and passing judgment, instead of taking responsibility for that, you're going to keep trying to gaslight me, son. Is that it? Huh? I've met your type many a time. Any meetups in the near future? Maybe. I'll be looking for some guest appearances on the level flooring. Aid Larson has all the answers. I'm missing Aid's words of wisdom. What's happening? Aid, can you impart some wisdom? What have I missed? Astronomy stuff. Aid, can you just clarify for me when you're trying to establish the dimensions of the Earth? How you achieve that by looking up the way? Did you not watch you on the level flooring? Did you miss that? You look like a lunatic, son. Plug-in blocked. Sorry there, I was still trying to... It says it's at the top of the page. Forget me till I work it out. Don't want to waste your time. No worries, Ben Reeves. Right, no worries, Ben Reeves. I hear that. What else we got here? Ali. Looking for a link. Oh, your level of waking, that's not good enough. You shouldn't be late. Shouldn't be late. It's just not good enough. Is this that they're saying now? Shine, she's brought you many... practicality brought us many things like technological advancement based on actual substance. You know, practical references, demonstrations. Looking up at the fucking sky and making up stories. Never advanced anything. Nothing whatsoever. All it did was advance your fairy tale. No advancements come by looking through a fucking telescope up at the sky and saying gravity, gravity. Things fall, therefore I've made a new iPhone. What are you talking about? Spirit Long Form, how you doing? Stephen Smith. I've sent you the link, Ben. Hello.
Hello?
How you doing?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello.
You need to turn the watch page down, Ben.
Yes. Hello. You need to turn the watch page down, Ben. Yes.
Ben, see the YouTube video that you're watching, you just switch it off.
Yep. Okay. Hello?
I can hear you now, mate.
That's better. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. I just like to say that I love your show. That's all I got at the moment.
You're alright, mate. So, nothing to add in regards to what I was talking about this evening, no? Do you understand any of it?
No.
Yeah. So you just come in to say hello?
Basically, yeah. I'll come back. I'm more prepared and better organized and maybe have something to offer. I'm a little bit nervous, honestly. I've been watching the show for a long time. So
I can understand, mate. It's
the first step to come here.
I know, I can understand, mate. Don't worry about it. You know, just come back anytime you like, my man. You know?
Cheers. Well, I'm set up now because I've been watching for a while. I've only had my phone and I haven't had any chance to be set up. But now I'm actually set up to do this. It works, doesn't it? Sounds okay?
Right. What's up, mate? Excellent.
Been listening a lot to this FPV guy over the last few days, and I'm a bit confused about the map now. I thought that it was a dartboard with a. Now my head is not. I don't understand that part anymore.
Well, that's why I've always had an issue, mate. It's fine. People are working and trying to understand things, and it's been a work in progress. But when you put these things out to people, and it does confuse people. That's why for me, you've always got to have that honest stance. Like the claims of Globe, don't turn your attention anywhere else right now, because we need the masses, we need the majority of people awake to this. It's absolutely ridiculous that people like us living in captivity in an isolated scenario are going to map out the whole earth. That's like asking a lion in the fucking Edinburgh Zoo for a map of the fucking Serengeti. It's ridiculous. We have to take steps at a time. Again, it's like I don't want to poo-poo people working and endeavouring to figure things out, but when people offer up maps and depictions, it does confuse people. And I'm opposed to that right now, because it's useless. If we can understand certain aspects or components of what's going on, fair enough. But when you offer up a depiction of the full Earth and its dimensions, I have a serious problem with that. That's why I've said from the off, look, we don't need straw man maps and models. This is what's been told to us. We live in captivity. We've no known anything else. So what we need to do as human beings is physically explore the place. Every avenue, no stone left unturned. Every assumption looked at.
Yes.
Because that's what they've done. That's how the propaganda worked. They knew when people started to question the globular earth, they threw out misinformation and disinformation of, ice walls and pizza dishes and circular maps and this, that and the other. All with assumptions about the luminaries, the sun, so many different things. And that was deliberate, because what happens there is people adopt it, they represent it, and it's full of holes and flaws. So what then happens is that the globular model and its representatives come in and start, attacking aspects of this straw man that people have adopted. And that causes the muck in the water. There's no clarity to be had. If people had remained purely sceptics of the globular earth claim and remained as that and questioners of the globular earth claim, this thing would move a lot quicker. But what happens is people need a replacement. Oh, well, if it's not a globe, what is it? Oh, it's this cartoon pizza dish. And then they've got certainty again, and they've got a full picture of it, and it comes with assumptions. And what usually happens is that they mix up the two different paradigms. So now they've got this pizza dish model, but they're carrying over solid planetoids and singular moons and suns, and they're trying to make it fit. Do you understand what I mean?
So, underground lines, technology, like underground yeah, we don't know where we are really. It's all speculation.
It's got to be investigated properly, and then we have to set about trying to verify and falsify whatever it is we think that may be going on. You know, and right now people have ideas and they have, you know, circumstantial evidence and stuff like that. You know, it's not anything solid. It's not something that defines exactly where we are and what's actually going on. So as long as people are upfront and expressing that, I don't have a problem with it. But if they don't, what happens is new people arrive, they see these concepts and ideas, they get involved in it, and it just confuses them.
Through deduction, can you deduce any sort of North Pole, I don't know, strip, pole, magnets going north? I mean, there must be some way to make some sense through deduction as opposed to what it's not. I mean, it's not globe, okay. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you know, each to their own. People need to pursue the avenues that their attention's on. My attention's on, you know, different avenues where, you know, that I'm passionate about and where my attention's at. I'm not the guy that has all the answers to everything, and nobody has, you know. So it's a matter of, you know, as many people as possible endeavouring to figure out whatever it is their attention's on, and then I'm willing to look at it, you know.
Yeah. My father is a sailor, and he's been quite far up north, but he's a complete globe head. Like he would never entertain anything other than a globe. But I feel like there could be some possibility to seriously explore the north. But like, I just feel like, how could someone else hasn't done it yet? You know, it's just, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
There's restrictions and limitations and logistics. There's so many, you know, varying aspects that would be problematic, you know. But I mean, a sailor, I don't know why a sailor would have an issue with that. He's plain sailing, you know, on level water. The problem is, again, is that they don't understand the difference between the things like the concept of the celestial sphere based on your vision and how you view the world through your eyes. And that's what these things are based upon. They're no depictions of the actual Earth. They're based on vision.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I get that.
What? What's up? You look awful puzzled and confused.
You shouldn't be using your eyes.
No,
I mean, I just feel a bit sort of, I don't know what to say. Nothing to say. Yeah, well, it is.
Well, you seem awful troubled, man. It just comes across to me that you're kind of troubled by all this.
Yeah, maybe I'm troubled by other things, but no. I don't know if I'm troubled, really, by it. I mean, as you said yourself, looks can be deceiving.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just nervous, honestly.
Any worries, my man.
I'm not used to talking to you know, most people, they don't really entertain this, and they're not really able to think about it or talk about it, or just, you know, it's just sort of ridiculous to most people. I do take it quite seriously. I do. For me, it's a serious question. It's not funny, you know.
It is. I still think it is funny. I've got to be able to laugh, you know. At the same time, it is serious. I'm well aware of the severity, you know, and the possibilities and the ramifications, you know. But it still is funny. I don't take anything seriously. You're part of the infinite, you know. This is just a fucking blip. There's no need to get your fucking knickers in a twist about this. Oh. Ali, can you hear us?
I can hear you, Dale, but I can't hear the other guy. So I'll just get one part of your side of the conversation.
It's because Ben here, he called me on a separate call, and I've answered that, and I'd already sent you that link, so I can see that you're there, mate. But I don't know if you two can hear each other.
I can't hear him, no. I can hear you, but it's out loud and clear, but I can't hear him.
Ben, can you hear Ali?
I can't hear him, no, sorry. Yeah, I can't.
Alright, so we've got a problem here, but... well, I don't know if you had anything else to add, Ben, or...
Not really. I think I'll come back another time when I have something to add.
No worries, my man. Go. Appreciate you coming
Thanks very much. Hello, yeah, nice one, Dal. See you.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Right. Al, are you still there?
I'm still here, mate.
No worries.
Yeah, I was just wondering what you were talking about. It just sounded quite interesting. I couldn't hear what he was saying.
Aye. Oh, talking about maps and models and stuffs, you know.
Oh, aye, that's right. With yeah, again, it's like what you're saying. These maps and stuff it puts pictures into people's heads. It's like what you're saying. It confuses. It just confuses the issue.
Yeah.
You know, it gives attack.
Aye.
You know, bullet, and just confuses the people that they're defenceless against that kind of stuff. You know, that onslaught, especially if they're just getting into it.
That's it. It's part of the whole fucking problem. We've seen it so many times, Ali. People feel the necessity to replace one thing with another. You know.
I think we're I think we're actually conditioned that way. I don't think it's because if like you were talking about trolls and stuff like that, right? It's like they don't even question anything. And I've seen, you know what I mean? I'm not stupid. You're not stupid. You know, most earthers, we're not stupid, and there's a reason that we're still here doing this, because there's blatantly obvious there's something not right with the story, but these people seem to be totally blind or stubborn, or possibly
on task.
You know they've got an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, I think the majority of what you see the majority of online stuff for me is organised, and it is part of the agenda. A lot of these people are not just genuine. You know, some of the ones I mentioned earlier, cats and all these people, they're not genuine people. They're no genuine inquirers with displaying honesty. You know.
Oh no, absolutely not. That's a proven fact, because it's like I kind of mentioned it. Like, well, it is normal, right? If someone starts telling you about something, you're going to ask them questions. You're not going to straight off the bat, be adversarial, because then that would suggest that you've got some kind of he's threatening an idea.
Yeah.
And it's only an idea, and these people seem to be emotionally attached to this, because that's not normal conversation. Oh, tell me more about it. Oh, why is that? And blah blah. Go through the motions and discuss what the guy's idea is, what he's got to say, and say, oh well, I've heard this. This is what I've been told. You know what I mean? Rather than going, you're a retard, and it's not a natural reaction. And not all of them are agents, and not all of them are paid.
No,
these are just like fucking. There's something wrong with it.
No, you're breaking up really bad, Ali. Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's probably. Oh. Yeah.
No, you're really.
It's just my connection, probably.
Aye. FPV Angel, how you doing?
Hey Del, how's it going, mate? How's you, Ali?
All right, how you doing?
All good, yeah. Yeah, I thought I'd jump in, Del, on the subject of maps and models. Yeah. But I'll give you an APM research perspective on it. Long story short, we came to Flat Earth, we were presented with pizza maps, and you come to a point where you can debunk it yourself, and then you think, well, what the hell are we looking at here? So you throw that away, and then you start looking at other maps, and that's where my research went. So this is mainly for that Ben chap that was in earlier. We do say we're not here to push a map or model. We are working with one. We're trying to figure out this world, how it works.
Yeah.
And the map for us is secondary. We chose this map because it aligns with the grid I've took from the NASCAR lines and used as like a blueprint overlay. Because we look at more let's see now, glyphs, sacred geometry, scriptures. We look into things like this and we decode it into a technological aspect. Because what we're working with is, can this world work another way? Because for me, when we came to Flat Earth, the two important questions I came across really was, if it's not a spinning ball, what is creating and moving those lights in the sky? So you're looking at, the world mechanics of these lights in the sky.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the aspect we're looking at it from, and what the ancients all knew and taught. So, we're looking at that and researching that and decoding that and putting it into this CGI model that we're working with. And it's, it has learnt us a lot more. I can understand, now what the ancients were teaching. What it's showing us, Del, is the ancients had a bigger grasp on how this world really works, and on a scale we'll never achieve.
Oh.
To us, humanity has been dumbed down so far, it is unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, hopefully no, mate. Hopefully, as time goes on, more and more people will get involved and be on the pursuit of understanding. That's my hopes anyway.
Yeah. So what we're doing really is saying, can this world work another way? And yes, it can.
Yeah.
The research we're doing, it's showing it can work another way if you're involved in technologies and this, that, and the other, which we can see is referenced in scriptures. You just got to decode and know what you're working with to find all these kind of paths, to lead to these kind of conclusions.
Well, that's it. I mean, the globular Earth peoples, they think that they've had an established thing for so many eons or whatever the fuck it is they think. But all the old cosmologies that you look at depict a level Earth, as some sort of machinery.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what we see in all these Geopetron hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
They're all depicting an underworld that they represent with certain characters. Now here's what went wrong. When you look at all the different cultures around the world, they've all got various glyphs to represent the technologies and how they work. The luminaries and how they work. So they use glyphs and characters. Now, when all that was converted into written form in modern times, in like say a Bible or Enoch, people now pick that book up and bring those characters to life. But those characters were never intended to be people. They are just depictions of the mechanisms that are responsible for the luminaries. This is what we're decoding, and it's making a lot more sense than what mainstream are telling us.
Yeah. And obviously I spoke to you about this, for me it's not an avenue that I've pursued. And that's what I try to explain to people. It's not that I poo-poo, you or anybody else. Obviously it's great that there's people in different avenues that are endeavouring to make discoveries. And I'm all for that. It's just that, I've not got anything to add. I explained that to you. I would need to, sit and have the time and the attention to get to the point that you're at, and it's just not feasible. There's not enough time in the day for me. My attention goes other places, and that's fine. It's people keep thinking that they've got to have all the answers, and there's going to be one entity that's going to come up with the whole fucking mechanisms of our reality and the whole meaning behind it, and it's just not the case. No,
it's not. No, you're going to need a whole team to figure this out.
Exactly.
You really are. I respect where you come from, Del. I was where you were 3 years ago myself. I thought I'm going to have to throw everything away I thought I knew and start again. So, I started looking into what the ancients all depicted and taught each other. And that's when you find, more realistic truths of how this world really is.
Yeah.
When they're talking about underworlds, every culture mentions an underworld and mechanisms and things going on. So you've got to look down there, you've got to look into it and really consider it and factor it into a map and model and say, well, they're all telling the same story. They've all got different names for the same story.
Yeah,
it's all it's all the same mechanisms everyone's talking about.
Well, that's it. I don't know if I said that to you when we spoke, but for me, the attention's always up the way, and that takes people's attention away from across and downwards. And even looking at like NASA and these spacesuits, when I look at them, they look to me like pressure suits for going underwater. So for all we know, these fuckers are down here trying to make discoveries or explore areas down there that we know nothing about. Well, they've got everybody fucking looking up the way. But across and downwards makes much more sense to me. It's much more achievable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, all this money, we know it's not getting spent up in space, is it? You know, it's going down below. It has to be. It makes sense. I mean, we've looked into a lot of things that relate to getting down below, you know, and like various things that they've been doing, you know, the nuclear detonations, were they really nuclear or was it just masses of TNT?
Yeah.
You've got lots of, you know, you've got lots of things to look at and relate to, and why are they always tunneling down below? And yeah, you know, they're going down below more than they're going above. That's what we see anyway.
Yeah, that's what I see as well, mate. So you know, turning your attention to there is probably the best thing.
Yeah, what's going on below us, exactly. You know, that's what we're looking at, because it is mentioned in every kind of religion and scripture and thing you look at.
Yeah.
You know, to me, religion it took over what it was meant to represent. Because to me, when I look through scriptures now, I see science and knowledge. I don't see religion and worship.
No.
So it's been flipped. You know, it teaches science and knowledge if you know how to decode it. That's what we're seeing.
Well, I mate, that's it, and I'm all for that. You know, keep up the investigations, and as I say, I'll endeavour to try and, you know, come up to scratch with the work that he's looking into. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that video link to you, that was a really good one. Roy Vincent, when he was demonstrating the push mechanism and expansion and compression, moving electricity with cable and also Wi-Fi across a room.
Yeah.
And you know, I was helping describe that from a Walter Russell perspective to Roy, and I know now it's going to help him understand what he's working with, because he does a lot of experiments, but even better now, he knows where expansion and compression can come in and help send the electricity further, let's say. You know, as he worded it, it's expanding its dipoles.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a lovely avenue of research, and I think what we're showing him will help him with his own experiments in free energy.
Excellent.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that's where it's going to go.
Well, I really liked that video, you know, because it's practical, and I can get my mind into practical reference, and it's easier to understand it, you know. So it was good. It was good that, you know, I subscribed to him. What was his name again?
It's Vinny St. Vincent.
Vinny St. Vincent.
Yeah, Vinny St. Vincent.
Hang on a minute, I'm just going to.
Hold on, I'll grab a link to his channel.
I've got it here. You sent me it. Wait a minute, where are you?
I'll stick in the chat FPV for me. It sounds interesting.
I'm going to stick it in right now. No, that's.
All right, nice one.
No, that. You sent me the video, but where's the link to his channel? Was it there? That's it there, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be below the video on my channel. He actually gave me a shout out on his video, because it helped him understand now about compression and expansion.
Sorry,
so this video is him demonstrating how it would work on the universal model.
Sorry, I missed what you said. What did he shout out? Sorry.
In this video, he gives me a shout out because just before then, I helped him understand what compression and expansion means, and you know, he made this video to show how it works on the universal model. How there's a push and how it can push the electricity, whether it be through wire or Wi-Fi. It always works. You know, it's a universal law that it has to follow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that conforms with every other practical reference of a pressure. You know, varying pressures, you know, achieving motion and direction.
That's it. Yes, that's what he said. You know, he said this is, you know, it starts with a push.
Yeah.
And this is what Walter Russell refers to as the cosmic pendulum.
Yeah.
Like, it's a push. It always starts with a push.
Yeah. Well, that's the avenues I would be pursuing, because that aligns with every single other, you know, practical reference I can have. So that's obviously the avenue to be going, you know.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this is what they're hiding when you think about energy, because what I explained it to him was, you know, imagine the power station and your home. Now, in between there's what they call substations. So you've got cable, then it expands out into a an expansion zone, which is the substation.
Yeah.
And what's taking place in there, with it expanding all of a sudden, how Walter Russell would word it is, this is where nature starts to divide and multiply the sex pairs because it's now rushing into an area to fill it in. All those light particles in there now getting restructured and rearranged, and it makes it more potent. And this is exactly what he demonstrates. You'll see the potency increase as he goes along doing it. Fantastic work.
Yeah. I'm gonna get into it a bit more, mate. You know, it's part of the avenue of my interest right now. So I'll be checking a lot more of his stuff out. So I'll just share that again for people that missed it. It's Vinny St. Vincent, in it. That was the name.
Yeah, it's called Roy. Really nice guy.
Excellent.
You know, he's already said, you know, if he figures anything out, he'll make you a schematic of anything he's ever worked on in any of his videos, and he'll, you know, explain how you want to build it yourself.
Excellent. That's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to experiment, and he's very quick as well, though. Very quick learner.
Good. Excellent, mate. Appreciated for that. I mean, the maps and the model stuff, you know, see, I don't have any issue with it as long as people are upfront and open about being an investigation. I just have an issue, you know what it's like, mate, with these people that start professing they've got all the answers and they know what it is, and that's just disingenuous, you know. If there's genuine people getting involved, it's just going to confuse them. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree. Though, you know, the reason we're using that map is because it aligns more with the Mercator map, which we know is recording real world data everywhere. So it's got to be, you know, close. It's close enough to work with.
Yeah.
But isn't it? You know, if we found issues, we would just totally discard the map. If we come across them, we'd say, right, it's not that map, and you know, it's no problem of ours to throw it aside and start looking at something else.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it's secondary to what we're looking at, though. But you know, it's easy. You know, I can see it slowly proves itself because what this map came from series, and what he did was apply an algorithm to resquare the Google images back to being square because they kind of made them rounded.
Yeah.
And that's what this fixed the distortion on the Mercator map in the north and the south, which is what it reveals Antarctica as a lot larger and more in the north because all we're looking at really, you know, we've got. All the world map it's a strip of data that we call a map, and obviously it's on something much larger. You know, we're not gonna guess what's out there. All we've got to work with is within this strip of data, really. So that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, excellent, mate. Now keep it up, bud. I'll look forward to future uploads. Again, for anybody that's interested, the guy that's speaking right now is channel's FPV Angel. I want to just grab that as well.
Yeah, I like to work you when you were working with the NASCAR lines and explaining all that because I read about that like years ago, so I kind of enjoyed that a little bit when you and showing about the like magnetic lines and all that kind of stuff. I think the thing I think you were talking about, it was amazing how they knew about these days and stuff and all their theories on how the Earth was. Scientists are just doing the same. It's just the same thing. Look, atoms and stuff like that. They're still using the way that the ancients described it, but they're just putting like a scientific twist when you actually look at it. It's just old ancient knowledge that they're yeah.
But with your roboting, mate, I couldn't make out anything you were saying.
I got some of it, Dal. Yeah, what you're saying, Ali. Yeah, it's right. You know, the mainstream's looked at the NASCAR lines and they put their take on it, and they've given it a load of baloney theories. They even portray the map when they show it you. They always have it the wrong way around, so you'll never figure out they went overly nicely over the world map. And they only show you a certain few things there. You know, I've only done a quarter of them line tracing, and there's probably thousands I haven't seen yet. I just can't get the detail on Google Earth to get more detail out of it. I would need a LiDAR scan to complete it. But I mean, what I've seen already tells me we're looking at technological blueprints. That's exactly what they are portraying because, I'm an amateur radio operator and I can recognize at least 5 antennas in those designs alone. This is very intelligent design you're looking at here on a grand scale. It's goes over the tops of mountains and everywhere. They've leveled the tops of mountains and put some of these glyphs up there that, part of a large blueprint. And this is what started our avenue of research. But yeah, you're right. Mainstream's rubbishing all the geopetro hieroglyphs, everything. They're lying about everything. Everything we've ever looked at, they've lied about.
Yeah, absolutely. They twist it and sort of. It does look like a lot like circuitry and all that. There's a new thing. A guy, this Ball Earther, he's like a techie, and he was showing this new microchip, and I swear it, it was tiny, tiny little chip, nano millimeters across or whatever, right? But when you zoomed into it, it was like the shape of like Mayan, the structure. It actually looked like not like a circuit, like a Mayan, like a town, like how they had the pyramid in the middle, and then they had all this different design. It was quite fascinating. It was the first thing I thought about. Maybe even the design of the villages or the towns, specifically why the temple was put in the middle, was part of interacting with the energies that surround that free energy, or whatever you want to call it, that static electricity or whatever. Our environment around might have even built towns in that shape, because Washington DC is built in a certain way, by masons in a specific shape,
Oh yeah, they still use it today. The people that's hiding all this, they know how it works, and they still hijack the symbology. This symbology is ancient. It belongs to the original flat earthers that knew how it worked and portrayed it everywhere. I look at the ancients; they're all flat earthers. They didn't know what a globe was, never heard of one. They're all flat. They all knew it worked, and it's been hidden how advanced they really were. And we see
Here's
it
a
everywhere,
question for you, right?
We see it everywhere in history. What you're going to find is a common theme of where civilizations, no matter where they are, they get to a certain age, so like a golden age, and then it all stops, and there's destruction on a grand scale. And we can see that throughout history. And you start looking at cycles, and then I looked at the main long calendar. It's called. It's counting down 394-year calendar. So what we're looking at here is catastrophic events that happen every X amount of years, every few hundred years, and that kind of ties in now what we're looking at history. All these resets, people call them. It's not something man-made. It's part of the mechanisms of how this world works. And our previous video, if you want to look at it, is End Times, Revelation, and Prophecy, because we go through Hopi prophecy, scriptures, and a few other things to show how that relates to actual real world data. And the data showing us 2020, we're going to go into a cold spell, a mini ice age for possibly about 60 years. This is what the data is showing. It's scientific data that we've referenced. And yet they're telling us we've got global warming, which we know is bullshit. They're spreading them skies for a different reason. And in our opinion, from our research, they're trying to hide what we see and call the sun halo. If you haven't seen one of those, they call them sun dogs. They call these halos sun dogs. But from our perspective, this is a projection. If you ever see it, you'll know what we mean straight away, because it's so big and so obvious what you're looking at. And I'm not going to take over Del's channel here and go into it deep. But if you want to look into that, if you want to look into that, I suggest you look at my channel or any of the people that research with us. Because we all know what it is.
Yeah, it's a wee while since I've been across, but I'll definitely go back, because I did that. Some of the really long. It's good listening, because there's a few years. It was good. It's quite really interesting. Not off the wall kind of speculation and stuff like that. Kind of keep a science or scientific fact or whatever, and showing how. Yeah. Anyway, I mean. There's Gavin.
Here's
Gavin. How you doing, guys?
Hey, Gav.
Good evening. Yeah. All right, Dale.
How you doing, mate?
Sound. Sorry, I've lost the conversation. Where are we? What are we talking about?
That's the stuff that I'm still trying to catch up with as well. FPV Angel and various other people are working on figuring certain things out, but it's probably better if you investigate it yourself on his channel and some of the channels that are involved there.
Right, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Then you were talking about the push and force again, Dale. Trying to make it clearer and absolutely indubitably fucking true, right? That there is no such thing as
well, I was unaware, you know, again, just investigating things that, you know, Einstein and relativity and these things is actually, you know, in regards to a push, you know, and that's what, you know, he was trying to come up with, you know, the warping and bending of space-time and space pushes stuff, you know, into certain, you know, areas or regions or whatever, so...
it's the geometry of curved surfaces that they've tried to introduce to keep the push aspect, you know, as a proper explanation. You know, because I think the Newtonian gravity, you know, explanation with this pool or this, you know, undecided definition that Newton left hanging in the air, saying he doesn't really know what it is, right? That was very obviously contrary to human experience. Right, this, as you say, this magical pulling force, you know. So I think they had to rework the maths and the definitions and introduce the geometry of surfaces to regain the push aspect, right? So that they could actually explain things mechanically better, you know. I still think, you know, they've got us arguing about the definitions of things rather than looking at the natural world that we live in, Dale, and that's the problem with science in general. That there's not enough practical, demonstrable people, but everybody's arguing about what's the best definition of a mathematical quantity and how to measure that quantity. And they'll go off in all avenues, and you know, and that's where everybody's lost fighting about words, right? And that's how should I say, an agenda that they push. Because they want us fighting about words, you know, and it's not just in science, right? It's, you know, when we're talking about how many fucking genders there are, you know, they've got us fighting about words, right? So it's part of their overall ploy, and it's used in mathematics because it's a formal language, you know. So
so that's the problem, you know. Obviously, we spoke about this. You know, what's flowing? Is it two-way? Is it a standing wave type resonance? You know, from top to bottom. Is there a substance there, like an ether, that's being distorted and flowing inwards towards a certain point? But I mean, it's just trying
there has to be a substance. There has to be. There's no other possibility, if you ask me.
Well, I was saying that to you when I was messing with you know, Marty's wee, you know, explain to people, Marty, get one of these wee things where it's a magnet and you've got to spin the spinning top just right on the wee plastic plate, and then you can lift it up and move the plate and it'll kind of levitate there, spinning, if you can get it right. But as I was playing with the spinning top, just moving it, you know, over the magnet, you know, you can feel like a compression zone. You know, as I explained it to you, it's almost like, you know, pneumatics, like air. It's got that same sponginess, that same kind of resistance. You know, as if, you know, something's been crumpled up or folded up to be more compact. And you've got these areas that are more dense. Does that
that's right.
make
and
sense?
If you move around within that, you know, how should I say, space or that structure, that geometric structure that's there, you can feel things snapping away. You know, if you go a little bit too far, then you can feel it. It'll take a real dive or a curve. You know, these things remind me. I said it as well. You know, like an eagle. You know, if you've got an eagle up in the fucking sky and it's just hovering about. And it's doing that flapping, that kind of concave and convex flapping of its wings, causing, if you like, a pressure disturbance, if you like, within the geometric area that it's, you know, currently in. Then it's manipulating the stuff around it so that it can do that kind of thing, right? So it's very possible with sentient beings and substances to do that, you know, to levitate. Insects do it every fucking day, right?
Exactly.
So. But all of that is, again, substance, you know. So, you know, there must be something going on there connected in the same way, if you ask me. And you can see it with iron fillings too, right? I mean, you can see how the iron fillings line up in a specific direction, as if there is something there, lines or threads or, you know what I mean? Something that things are following in some way or being, you know, put into that path where, again, you can go down this idea of trying to describe all this curved space-time. You know, I mean, the whole fits into the whole idea of the electromagnetic spectrum, right? So.
Hey Gav, it's FPV, Gav. I give Dell a nice link to a demonstration of from a guy called Roy that we chat with, and he demonstrated push and expansion and compression using Tesla coils.
Oh, excellent. I'll need a look at that.
And well, he takes it further actually, because he's looking at our research, and now he's figuring out how we depict the world model. He's applying it to his applications where he's doing there, his experiments, and now he's figured out what's really going on with the universe, and the push, expansion, compression.
That's a heavy claim that he's figured out the universe. I'd be
no. What he's doing is demonstrating what we're telling him, because this is how you have to move electricity. This is Walter Russell's work. We're trying to help him with. We're trying to help him understand compression and expansion, and this will help him move electricity. That's how you got to move electricity. This is between your house, your power station, and your substations. The substation's the expansion zone. So that's to expand and then compress again.
Expand and compress what? That's the bit I'm missing. What am I missing?
The light particles that it's pushing along these cables. It's light particles that it's pushing. I'm quoting Walter Russell here. The true nature of electricity is not what they're saying it is. It's the compression and expansion of light particles, which is pushing something. These are things in the ether.
Is light ether? Is light a manifestation of the ether? I don't think there's anything going down through cables. I think the electromagnetism exists within the cables, within the geometric structure. The cables are the boundaries of the geometric structure you're in, and they're showing the effects of resistance in getting hotter, for example, or showing the effects of the electromagnetism that exists within the two wires, right, by being pushed out, for example, or brought closer together, right? So that's what I think,
Yeah,
and I've read the Russell books as well, and whilst I quite liked a lot of his ideas, like the periodic table, changing that into what he's done, I found quite a lot of his stuff confusing as well, to be honest.
Well, if you look at it, picture his periodic table, Gav, and I'll apply that over the equator, because that's what you're looking at.
Sure.
That comes from,
waves
apply that, yeah. Imagine the equator goes right across the centre of that wave that he's put there. Because that's what you're really looking at. And where he's got these elements, now if you look at the motion of our luminaries, they do epicycle. We've seen on time-lapse recordings the sun halo epicycle moving. So it's another proof for us that it does epicycle across the map, basically. So it's using epicycle movements. And this is the model Ptolemy portrayed.
At the end of the day, everything cycles in intervals, but I don't know, we might be getting off topic here, talking about stuff.
Yeah, possibly. Well, back to you, Del, we'll let you leave.
Yeah, back to the...
No, I've got nothing to add, because I'm in the dark, with what's been discussed here. I need to, endeavour to find out more, I get lost with the language and the descriptors and some of the things that are being used. Again, I'm just practical. If I don't have that practical reference, the words are just words to me. I don't know what we're talking about, and light particles and all this stuff. I'm like, that's just gobbledygook to me. But that's just my lack of understanding, So
yeah, I would say the best way of wording it, these particles, it's whatever is flowing through a magnet, basically. Whatever those particles are. There's positives and negatives, and it's restructuring them as it's pushing them through.
But what do we mean by particles? Is this space balls again?
Well, this is you're getting into atomic level stuff, isn't it? This is what they're trying to put across as the atomic model. Which, if you watch Roger at Mudfossil University, he's ripping that to pieces. He's restructuring what the lies they're telling. You probably get a better idea of what they're trying to say through what Roger's saying. He's defining it as positives, negatives. You need a bit of motion, and it causes effects, and you can have chain reactions. Like lightning, for instance, that's like a chain reaction of events going across the sky. So this is charged particles is what you're looking at.
I'll need to come back to all this. It's probably for another discussion. Because right now I've got fuck all to add.
I think the inquiry though into how do the mechanics of push and what we know about matter and motion, how does that apply to the electromagnetic effects that we see?
Yeah.
And I mean, there are examples of like thoughts. I know Dollard, for example, thinks that lightning, for example, when it comes down and you see that streak, then he thinks it's a pressure from both sides of the lightning, basically banging together, and when it compresses together, then that light party or that light gets created, if you like, due to the implosion of everything. So
yeah,
but it's highly fascinating stuff, and it definitely how should I say goes further than a quick chat on a Saturday night.
Aye. Defo. Aye, so.
I'll look into that then. What was the guy, Roy and Roger? Roger and Roy. It sounds like the guys with the Tigers in Las Vegas. No?
Roy Vincent, he's the one that does the electrical experiments. The good thing with Roy is he'll tell you what he's doing, and he'll talk you through it. So he's really good if you want to get into doing your experiment.
Because the guy's set up with practical. He's got apparatus and stuff set up there, and whatever else. It's not just words. So it's worth checking.
Yeah, good. I know, definitely have a look at that. And what was that? You mentioned Roger something.
Yeah, Mudfossil University. Now the guy's a globus. You'll have to ignore the globe references he comes out with. But look at his atomic model. He's slaying mainstream. He's worth watching just to watch how he destroys them. He's calling all these mainstream names. They're all idiots. He's naming every one of them as idiots and showing where they went wrong. So he's restructuring all their work. So it's interesting to watch him rip them to pieces as well.
I certainly think anything that's inquiry into what's happening down here on Earth is a lot better than chasing lights in the sky. Because I've always wondered that we usually say the deep of the water, right? How deep is the ocean? But they've got us thinking about deep space. Looking the other way. But I think the word applies to how deep can it actually go, and what is also there, the limits or the boundaries of what's going on.
Exactly.
That's it. You got to contain it to what you can see and work with. Really, you're back down to full exploration and reality. You got to keep it real, but it doesn't stop us looking, because it's nice to see someone at his level. The guy is a professor. It's nice to see someone at his level ripping them all to pieces.
Yeah.
So, I would take his word a bit more than what they're saying, because he's shooting them all down himself. Gravity, everything, he's slaying it.
Nice one. You need to send us a link to that, FPV.
But at the same time, he's still on the globe. He's still clinging to the globe. So ignore that bit and look at his science, and he's pretty good.
Awful fucking difficult to ignore that bit. Sorry. So I'm not going to be able to do that.
It's fucking a shame, because it puts me off. When I see them fucking talking about fucking universes and space balls, I just go, fuck you.
I'll drop you the link in the chat there. Hold on, I'll PM it you.
Cheers. So
I'm going to knock off, Dale. It's going to go.
I'm the same.
I was late getting here, and you get to bed early, so.
I'm the same,
see
guys.
How you guys soon,
cheers, everybody. Cheers for coming on.
Yeah, I'll be hitting this track as well.
Cheers, Ali.
All right, Jill. Thanks very much. All right, FPV. I'll check out your page again. See the progress since the last time.
Yeah. Just go through Ali and see what you think. I think you'll get a surprise at all the correlations and things that we've put together.
Yeah. All right, mate. You take it easy. Have a good one.
Nice
you
one,
too, mate.
Cheers, bud.
Good night. See you, Dale.
All right.
Nice one, buddy. Bye. Bye.
All right, Dal. I'll jump off as well, mate, and leave you to it.
Cheers, man.
Thanks for the invite.
Cheers, bud.
See you later.
I'll leave some of the other stuff. I'll come back to that. Mine's went somewhere else now. So, recap. We know it's hugely relevant, hugely important. Motion, acceleration, variance and pressure is what achieves that. There's no such thing as pulling forces. They don't exist. So anybody that's running about saying, what does it matter? It doesn't matter, is a fucking moron. You should be suspicious of that type of shenanigans. So, anyway, cheers people. I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy.